Hey folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I'm your nerderator, Dustin House. Spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. You're going to find me here every Tuesday and Thursday on LinkedIn Live and YouTube Live. So put it on that calendar and be here for some live interaction. And my guest today, Sal Conca, new CEO of Amazing Ads. Welcome to the Nerdatorium, Sal.
Awesome, Dustin. So happy to be here, man. You know, I love nerding out. So
we have been nerding out 5-ish years, maybe. I mean, I met you at Plaid Street.
yeah,
What was it? Was that in Chicago? Was that Washington D.C.? I can't remember.
Chicago in the Chicago days. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I made some good friends there, and you included. We're in that nice group of friends, and we quickly have bonded and have hung out ever since. So so glad to have you on. And your direction in the affiliate world has gone into the YouTube world and the ad spend on YouTube specifically. And I'm really interested in picking your brain here today.
Yeah, man. Can't wait to talk about it.
All right. So if you have any questions for Sal and I, drop them in that chat. If you'd like to be in Sal's seat, come be my guest. Go to dustinhouse.com/nerd and we can talk about a topic. Our question of the day: what is your YouTube skill level? Rate yourself 1 to 10. Don't be embarrassed. I'm around a 6, 7, maybe. I'm better than most, I would say, but I've done so many videos at this point and gotten so many suggestions that I'm getting good here. But without further ado here, Sal, who are you?
I'm just a guy from Long Island, man. I'm just a guy from Long Island that does a lot of marketing. I've been in digital for 20 plus years. I lost count. So like when you hit the 20, it's just like 20 plus. I don't know. You know, I got started in 99, 2000. One of my first experiences was managing the affiliate program at 1-800-Flowers.com before it was actually a .com. You know, there was a great team over there. I was going for like my MBA in marketing, and that was my first taste of digital and like what was going on in the world of affiliate marketing. Didn't know what it was prior. I had no idea, you know, what affiliate was till I arrived, and it was all new. It was like one of the first to sign a link share contract. One of the first to, CJ was around. Well, it was Be Free at the time. Like it was wild stuff. But then I grew up in the affiliate space. I did affiliate marketing all the way through 2012-ish, 2014-ish, something like that. I mean, I was managing affiliate programs for a long time internally at brands and at agencies. And then I had my own agency in the affiliate space for a while. So, and I've been all around this industry of digital, and I really had a passion for video and content, social media, and all that. And it was kind of taking shape at the time. And I started getting my hands dirty with like a camera in my hand, and learning the ins and outs of video and understanding what that looks like, and making independent films and working on Instagram and shooting a reality TV show. So I've done like lots of wild things with the video camera.
Yeah.
And also, because of my marketing background, started like weaving the two together, right? It was like, how do I weave this marketing thing with my video skills and my love of video, right? How do we do that? So that's been the journey over the last few years. And now, so for the last year and a half, I was the CEO of another agency called Windfall Media.
Okay.
Pat Grady, who came from the affiliate space as well. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He's my partner in crime. And he was the owner of Windfall Media. And he also had another agency called Amazing Ads. This year, because of the convergence of all these things, where he's working with e-com companies, I was working with a lot of lead gen and high ticket sale companies. Now we're merging the two. So the two teams are coming together, and we're delivering full service, like performance marketing and video marketing all in one to our clients right now. So it's exciting. 2024 is going to be just a real journey for me and Pat. So it's awesome.
That's wild. That's wild. And I knew Pat got out of that affiliate industry for the Amazon industry, because I saw him at the Prosper conference last year. And we talked briefly about doing something together. It didn't happen, but Pat's a legend in this industry as well. So
Yep.
Him getting into the Amazon side of things and the YouTube side of things is uh, questioning my career decisions. Like maybe I should be coming on over. You got any room for a face and a talent for these videos you're shooting here?
Sure, man. Let's figure it out. We'll definitely talk about that. I mean, I like to be on video too, you know,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
yeah, we plan to launch our podcast this year and do some things like that. We got to start the marketing machine. The
Okay.
Amazing Ads has been around for 6 years, but a lot of it built off of reputation and referrals, like many agencies do. And but you know, Pat, to his credit, and he's grown that agency to 60 plus clients. You
Nice.
know, and you know, we manage, you know, 50 million in spend last year for our clients, and so we're playing in the big leagues, so to speak, with a lot of diversity around what types of clients we manage. But from my side, you know, Pat's managing all the Amazon stuff still, and
Yeah.
under my purview is all the Google, YouTube, video advertising, Meta, social media, all that good stuff falls to me. So
Gotcha. All right. Well, it sounds like we might have an ability for me to become one of your referral partners. So let's keep that in mind. But let's talk more about Amazing Ads. Like, where's this name origin story come from?
yeah, you know, it's funny. I have to ask Pat, but I assume my assumption here. So Pat can jump in on the comments on this when he sees it. But you know, the whole convergence of, you know, Amazon and advertising, Amazing Ads, Amazon, amazing.
Okay.
You know, I think pretty simple naming convention here. I hope, if not, I'm going to get a big whack from Pat when I see him in person at Prosper Next. But they go, "What do you mean you don't know the origin story of the name?" But
First day on the job, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's a tough question to handle. But I do know you know what you guys do and who you're serving out there. Why don't you tell everybody?
We scale businesses to 7 figures and beyond. I mean, that's really what we're doing. Everything we do is performance based. You know, we're constant from our affiliate backgrounds. It's like, you know, everything's performance based that we do, even in the video marketing space with YouTube. Even when we talk about brand awareness and upper funnel, we are still so keyed into KPIs, conversion metrics, return on ad spend, you know, and how all of the channels interact together. So I teach digital marketing at Stony Brook University here in New York. And one of the things in doing that, you know, full funnel marketing, full customer journeys, understanding, you know, from awareness to engagement to conversion, right? So making sure that when we work with our clients, many of them come to us and they only want the bottom part of the funnel, right? The Google ads, the conversions, the things that we can see that only, like, when I put this amount of dollars in, I get this many dollars back, right? And video marketing or TV advertising, let's say in the past, this is not the metrics that people are looking for, right? But now people realize, because of, I think a lot of it had to do with TikTok. I mean, YouTube's been around forever, but I don't think people really looked at YouTube in this way as an e-commerce like conversion play. They definitely were for education. That's why Windfall Media existed, with the high ticket sale offers and doing educational videos, a lot of that in the real estate and financial services space. But e-com is really getting into the game in a big way. I just saw a stat that said, like, last year, Google's YouTube sales revenues were up 15%. More and more people are entering the space and understanding how to leverage the power of YouTube in e-commerce as well. And connected TV has also opened up a whole other world, right? So think about running ads, on Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and every other streaming platform you can imagine, right? Paramount Plus, Peacock, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, so, TV Scientific's doing crazy things over in the affiliate space with that overlap.
That's right.
All right. And so the clientele, are these mainly e-commerce sites, or do you take on influencers that have a really big following, or anybody? You mentioned real estate was hot for you for a time. What do these clients look like?
Yeah, so we do have a diverse client base. Many of them are e-commerce businesses that, from the Amazon side perspective, right? But many of them also have Shopify stores and want to drive direct traffic outside of Amazon. So we're building multi-channel strategies for all of our clients. On the Windfall Media side, yeah, I was serving high-ticket sale clients in the real estate space, tax and legal space, so on and so forth. Those are more lead generation type clients. So we serve e-commerce and lead generation clients, and have the capabilities to do both. So that's really, I mean, when I don't want it to sound like we serve everyone, because you can't be everything to everybody, but we do have a very diverse, like I would say in certain niches on the lead gen side with real estate and financial services products and educational products, that we really have a sweet spot there. We have worked with a few YouTubers to grow their channels organically as well. So some of them that come to us in the educational space, let's say, they want to grow their organic YouTube channels as well. And we've had some great success stories there with people like Linda Page, who was a client of ours and grew her channel over 90 days, hit some really awesome high marks there and growing her subscriber base, her view counts, monetizing the channel, right? Which is the holy grail. Everybody wants to monetize their YouTube channel. So all those things are possible.
Awesome. And I think you came to me and said, hey, love your podcast, want to be on it. And the first thing you said is like, hey, let me help you out with your YouTube channel. And I love that you always come from a place of help. And you sat down with me for an hour and like told me, hey, these are the things you need to work on your channel to go and optimize to get it better. And we can talk in a little while, get you to a better place. But I really appreciate the way you approach that. And I assume that's the same thing you do with your clients. Like, even if you turn them away, even if it's not the right time for them, you're trying to guide them in the right direction.
That's right. Always. I mean, Pat and I believe in three things: trust, transparency, and accountability. And, the relationships in this business and every business matter, a lot, but your reputation is what speaks volumes. And yeah, there are many clients who aren't ready for us per se, right? They can't fit the retainer piece. They don't have enough ad budget where it makes sense on a performance basis or whatever it might be. But we always want to help and guide and get them to a level where they can then become a client of Amazing Ads and work with us. So, and I think it's part of the educator in me. I mentioned I teach at Stony Brook. I've been educating. I used to teach music lessons from the time of being like 15, 16 years old. So I've always been teaching in some regard. So I'm always I find that consulting is very much teaching in a way. Even when I was an affiliate manager, like that was my first foray, like to consulting as an affiliate manager. When you're working with a blogger or a coupon site or this type of site, like they're like, how do I grow? How do I do this? And you're the one that's got to like have this skill set to kind of like guide them in SEO, guide them in conversion rate optimization, guide them on their email strategy. Like, so you start learning those channels. That's what I found as an affiliate manager. I started skill stacking like all the things because I had to help these people. Right. So
100%. And that's how I got into the YouTube game and started learning more about it. And Adam Enfroy just released a really cool YouTube course that is maximizing YouTube SEO.
awesome.
I think it's, it might be under $1,000, but for those of you trying to learn the skill set there, that would be a really good place to start to upskill right there. So talk about the YouTubers and affiliate marketing. This world mixes. Traditionally, the YouTubers that I've reached out to reach a certain point and ask for some kind of sponsorship, but YouTube affiliate marketing is still really hot. In my opinion, it's easiest channel at least to get your affiliate links exposed with the description below, right? And I feel like that's changing. TikTok's doing some really good things here. But how big is this industry for YouTube and affiliate mixins?
Yeah, it's an interesting, like, I'm not a stat, like if you ask me this big stat, I couldn't tell you if it's 7 figures or 8 figures. I don't know. I don't know that. What I know is from my experiences and understanding how our clients leverage affiliates and these partners. And they're not the traditional, like I used to do a lot of e-com affiliate marketing where you're working with the Impacts of the world and your CJ and link shares, right? All that type of stuff. These types of referral partners, for many of them on our side, like with the high ticket sales and educational programs, right? They're just using links and descriptions with a referral ID at the end. It's less formalized. The payments are tracked manually, you know, et cetera. But obviously in the e-com world, there are plenty of people participating in the, what I call traditional affiliate programs, right?
Okay.
I'm dating myself here by saying that, right? It's like traditional affiliate programs, you know, on large networks. And yeah, it's so much easier to monetize your YouTube channel than many other types of channels like Instagram or Facebook, because they don't like off-platform links. They devalue your video, right? If you so, and you know, with Instagram Reels or these other things that are popular, right? It's so hard to monetize. It's like, oh, we got to go to link in bio or some other way to drive the click, because it's, you know, affiliate is such a click-driven industry, last click-driven industry. I mean, if you've really got some smart brands, they're understanding attribution, they're understanding how to split commissions, if that's still the case with certain networks, right? But I think with the amount of people that have joined the creator economy and the amount of people that are looking to monetize, the smart money is in diversifying that income, right? So if I can't monetize my YouTube channel because I don't have enough views, but I've got a faithful following, I can at least use affiliate, or I can get sponsorship, or right. So there's lots of monetization options for creators these days. I think that's
awesome. Awesome. Well, let's get into the brunt of it here. Let's talk about best practice and suggestions you make to your clients. So you on board, you would probably do some kind of audit with their channel existing, I would assume. And you're also coming in and like getting them in front of the camera to do these YouTube ads. What are some of the best and first things that the folks out there in that e-com space, or even SaaS companies like myself, can go and do to start with YouTube ads?
Yeah, so we follow like a 7-point framework to developing ads, right? So when we're developing an ad, it's like we follow this like script structure to like build an asset, especially in the informational space, educational space, where the video might be 1:30 to 2 minutes long, something like this, right? Not a quick 15-second, 30-second ad that we're talking about for a Facebook unit or a TikTok spot or something like that. If we're dealing with educational products, long form tends to actually outperform short form on YouTube ads. That's first and foremost.
Okay.
So that means, what does that really mean? It means that that video needs to be structured in a way that's built for selling. And so, you know, the first rule of selling is I need to know the problems that my customers have. And before you even get to that, making sure you know who your customers are. And it's, I say that because so many times we end up in a client engagement. It's like, who do we want to target? Who's your ideal customer? Who, like, have you gone through, do you have personas for your business?
Yeah.
And so many times the answer is no. They haven't done that hard work. They don't really know. They're unsure. Or if they do, they've got so many of them that they create one ad set. And again, trying to be everything to all people instead of contextualizing, right? Like, if I'm doing something, if I'm doing something in the small business space and I serve restaurants and real estate agents, well, my restaurant creative should look very different than my real estate creative, right? Yeah. Even though I'm selling the same thing for small businesses, that's the same. The end goal for both is like either like to fill out some form, a lead gen, right? They're going to the same place essentially. But my ad creative needs to feel like it speaks to them. That's the number one thing I would say in YouTube, because the targeting capabilities in YouTube are like no other platform with what you can do in terms of targeting.
Yeah, that's a really great point. I didn't even come up with the concept of an ICP for, I mean, to the last 2 years ago. I mean, I was naturally doing it, selling my course, and I knew who I was selling to, and I had 6 different ones, and I was trying to message to each single one, but I didn't even recognize like what that was. That's a persona. That's an ICP. That's who you need to be targeting in. And what I didn't go through, the worst part of it is I didn't go through the practice of like trying to think of who they are and where they are in the world of the internet, essentially. Right. And so that's a great practice for any affiliate manager out there. Go through this practice of like whatever brand you're working on, get into the customer's shoes and figure out where they are and go and find those websites and that traffic, and you're going to be much more successful.
Right. And from the ad perspective itself, it's like this problem solving that we're trying to do, right? Everybody's product or service solves a problem for somebody. So for the restaurateur or for the real estate agent, that problem may be very different that they're trying to solve, the way they think about it, perceive it, etc. So generally with YouTube ads, we're creating, I'm sure you've heard this term, the hook, right? The first 5 seconds of your video is so important. Why? Especially on YouTube, right? It's so important because people in YouTube ads, they're going to hit that skip button, right? If it's a pre-roll ad, right? They got the power of the skip button is in the power of the viewer, right? But you want to make that video so engaging at the first 5 seconds that they can't skip, and make it feel like that video was made just for them. You ever watch one of those ads or see a video, something, and you're like, that was made just for me? I mean, they're talking right to me. How do they know this much about me? It's not accidental, right? If somebody's done their job to really understand who's watching that content that they're serving that ad over, then that video is going to feel like it speaks directly to them. Now we're testing, right? So I have a hook, and I may test 5 different hooks, okay, on top of a piece of educational content, right? On YouTube, I actually have the ability, I actually want to probably educate in some way, shape, or form, and give people like an action plan. And the last part of that action plan is a call to action that drives them to whatever it is that you want to serve them, what you want to help them with, how you show them you actually solve their problem, right?
Yeah.
And so all of that makes the video compelling enough, especially when we're dealing with education, high ticket offers. I think, your business is like this. You're a high ticket offer. I would consider you a high ticket offer. It's not $20. It's not $100. It's a high ticket offer, and it's B2B. And educational. So that process, I'm simplifying it, here, but there's more in that education piece that I glossed over. There's a lot of things like your building credibility and all these other things that, help establish you as a trustworthy source, and that you are an expert in your field, one that can help them solve their problem, right? So
awesome. And with that, do you find, I mean, there's so many variables to this, but I think there's really 2 options where that ad takes you. Is it going to some kind of lead gen capture, or is it going to like straight for the heart and like trying to get a sale on that first visit of their
lead
website?
Gen capture. Majority is a lead gen capture. And then the question is what you do with it after that. Do you have a solid email drip campaign? What does your funnel look like, right? How am I continuing to educate down the line? Do I have, and again, I think it depends on the nature of the product. Everybody's product's a little bit different. We do some things with clients where a lot of this educational information is driving people to like a free webinar or free event where they're going to get sold inside that event, right? And at the end of the event, then they're like, if you stuck through that 4-hour, 2-hour, whatever length of that online webinar is, well, now I'm going to push them my high ticket offer, right? And these are for things that are probably like in the $3,000 range or something like that, right? And so free webinars and events work really well. Live in-person events work really well for this. If you're dealing with high ticket, if we're dealing with e-com, then I think it's a whole different ball of wax. Is my product, do I really need to educate at that level? This is a different type, then we have other things like bumper ads, 6-second bumper ads that can just be non-skippable and drive brand awareness, right? I've got different options for e-com and brand awareness building on YouTube as well. So
bumper ads. Never heard that term. I like it.
Yeah, there's about 6 different ad units on YouTube. One I was just kind of talking about was mostly the in-stream ads, those skippable in-stream ads that most people are used to,
Yeah, very true. And I spend a lot of time on YouTube watching Mr. Beast and silly things. Rober educates my children quite a bit. Tell us about the process of measuring this kind of efficiency. What does that look like when you guys take on a client and we start playing around and creating those ads for them? What are you guys looking for to make this a successful campaign?
Yeah, so the first thing we're looking for is, does the video hold people's attention? What does the view rate look like, right? Are people actually engaging with the ad? Are we getting people to click? So, did my ad do its job, right? Like, the creative that we built, does it hold people's attention? Meaning I can actually see what the view rate is, 50%, 75%, 100% view rate. What does that view rate look like? And so starting to understand that puts us in a position, well, if the view rate's really high, but my conversion rate is really low, I've got to disconnect there with my lead form or my funnel, something like that, right? But if I have a really low view rate, well, am I putting it in front of the right people? Does the ad just suck? Right? Sometimes, even as the video agency or marketing agency that we are, sometimes the client makes the creative and we don't get a lot of input, or they have assets that we inherit, right? So I'm like, you're asking me to serve or spend your money based on this asset. I don't think it's so great. Are you willing to invest more money to create a new ad, et cetera, right? So all those things matter. And the thing that really closes the connection here, and this is with all Google ads, right? YouTube is part of the Google ad platform, and it's offline conversion tracking. So for lead generation specifically, you need a feedback loop, right? Because many of these leads end up in a CRM, and the sale takes place offline. So if Sal comes to Dustin's website and fills out that lead form after seeing a YouTube ad, I might not close for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, right? You may pitch me on a phone call. It may happen through an email, somewhere else that you close this sale. Well, there needs to be a feedback loop from the CRM back to Google Ads with a click ID associated that says, hey, out of the 100 people that filled out this lead form, these are the 10 that closed and are of the highest value.
Okay.
So informing the AI to go find me more of these. So with e-com, it's easier. We're usually driving revenue signals back, right? I've got a lot of clicks and I've got revenue associated with those clicks. It's a lot easier with e-commerce. With lead generation, it's much more difficult. If you don't, most people are just tracking by CPL, and the number one metric is, hey, just lower CPL. But lower CPL doesn't mean higher quality by any means. When you're chasing the bottom of the barrel, right? It's like, if your directive as an agency is to chase the lowest cost, it doesn't mean I'm getting the most value.
Okay.
So without the feedback loop, I won't actually know. Maybe I'm willing to pay double or triple for that lead if those leads are the ones that close more, right? I need to know that information.
Or the lifetime value of that customer is greater as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Like when we talk about lifetime value, if I think about that for subscription products and things like that, obviously. But if you're a straight lead gen, like high ticket item or something like this, well, I just need to know the overall value. I need to compare that against, some people use lead scoring in one shape or another, right? They have some sort of lead scoring technology for when these leads come into the CRM. But essentially what we're saying is that lead scoring then that has to reflect back to Google. Most people don't close the loop, right?
Okay.
So Google is taking away more and more controls from ad buyers, right? More automation, performance max. This is like Google wants you to use broad match, like manually manipulating ads inside Google. They're taking more and more of the controls away from us. Right. Okay. So the feedback loop, there's two things that are going to matter in the future. The feedback loop, can you tell Google all the signals that it needs to know about all the leads and clients and customers that came in through your door from advertising? And two, the creative, right? So the creative and the feedback loop are what's going to matter most going forward.
Awesome. And you mentioned AI in this conversation, and that is such a hot topic in our industry. And what you guys, I can see how it's going to help with that feedback loop. And I can see a world where you take on a new client and you use something like Jarvis to like get a base of like, here's 10 ad like scripts that you can use, and then you tweak them yourself to recognize and eyeball what is going to work. But any other tools out there that are super hot in your industry that you guys are utilizing?
Yeah, I mean, we are using and testing a number of different tools all over the place. For video creation, I mean, it's really wild because you've got now like these video tools that can create you AI videos like on the spot. Pika is one of them. There's some other tools out there for video. Some of the names are escaping me at the moment, but there are a ton of AI video creation tools. Another one, like for you, I don't know if you're using AI to cut up segments from your podcast here, but right, if you're using Opus or Munch, right, those two tools can cut up and be your AI video editor. Those things are really popular. And then, I mean, I use ChatGPT a lot. I'm big on ChatGPT. I enjoy training the model, like those 7 points for the scripts.
Yeah.
Like I sit there and tell Chat, like, here's the different points that you need to cover and learn about. Here's an example script that I've used in the past. Now I want you to translate this for this new client. And, you know, so I think it's great in terms of ideation, even when we're working with organic YouTube channels where like you're giving it information, you're feeding ChatGPT a whole bunch of information and data, right? And then out of it, you're like, hey, give me 10 video topics around video ideations around this topic, right? What 10 videos should I create next? And so then you start whittling it down, right? And maybe there's only 3 out of the 10 that make sense, or the ones I want to talk about, etc. So, and so, yes, constantly using AI to transform things. And there's probably Evan Gower, who's commenting in here. He works on my team. Yeah, he's the AI guru on our team. He knows a bunch of tools. So Evan, feel free to throw some AI tools in the chat while we're talking.
PMax, big fan of PMax. Looks like it's funny that ChatGPT almost has an old school feel to it at this point. Like when you mention ChatGPT, that's old school in the AI industry. Like,
I don't know. There's all sorts of like. Do you have the pro version?
Yeah, I do. I play. I don't use it enough. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake that people make in using ChatGPT for these things is they're not training the AI well enough. And when I say train it, like having a conversation with it around what you really want. Like you can tell it, hey, write me a 90-second video script about affiliate marketing, right? And it'll do something very generic. But if you say, I want you to write me a 90-second video script that addresses a problem at the front, give me 5 different hooks, make sure it's geared towards affiliate managers that do X, Y, and Z in this industry, right? Like you have to be specific. The more specific you are with ChatGPT, the more detailed those responses are going to be. And then you can shape it. Hey, I liked this response. I didn't like this response. So that's really the power of it, I believe.
Awesome. All right. Let's switch gears into like the keywords that these folks are targeting and the brands you're working with. What should we be striving for? And like, how do we develop the keywords that we should be going after here?
Right. So I think like, I'll change the topic from keywords to like just the types of targeting that are available on YouTube. Okay. I think this is one of the things where YouTube ads gets confused a lot. They assume that I can just put my ad in front of whatever YouTube video or YouTube channel that I want. So channel placements or video placements. Okay. You could certainly do that. You could, and so depending on how big the channel is, you may pay through the nose for some of those, sorts of targeting, right? Et cetera, right? If I want to be in front of like Alex Hormozi's YouTube channel because I want to attract other entrepreneurs, like you're probably going to pay a premium for those, right? On a CPM basis, right? Sure. The other types of targeting, though, we focus a lot on custom intent audiences. So what that means is like if somebody went to Google, for instance, and typed in affiliate manager training or affiliate manager education, right? I'm using your business as an example here, right? Yeah. So if somebody went to Google and typed one of those keywords in, well, they become part of your audience. If I've set up a custom keyword intent audience properly, it means whatever they're searching for on Google, now I can target them on YouTube, regardless of what they're watching. If they're watching Alex Hormozi or they're watching a music video, it doesn't really matter. If they put that search in Google at some point, now I can target them on YouTube, wherever they are. So this is really powerful targeting and makes it super specific to the user. This is what I mean by audience first. Audience first targeting is where it's at. And I'm sure people are familiar with other Google type of YouTube audiences, like in-market audiences, like people who are in market to buy a computer, people who are in market to buy a car, buy a house, right? These types of things. But when we're dealing with other types of products, whether they're e-commerce or not, like we want to go audience. We want to target people. I have another brand, for instance, that creates these products for grandparents. Okay. So like we use a whole custom intent audience for gifts for grandma. Anybody searching for gifts for grandma ends up in that audience, meaning searching on Google for those things. We take it a step further. If you search for gifts for grandma on Google, there'll be top 10 search results. I can take every one of those URLs and use those as custom intent URLs. So imagine the power of that. Now, Google says they're not targeting those people. It's not a remarketing campaign to people that visited those websites. Okay, let's be clear here that Google can't do that. That would be a infringement on those websites' privacy. But what it says is we'll target people who visit sites like this.
Sites like it. Got lookalikes. Okay.
But if the site is so specific, right? What are we really talking about here? Or if I only put one URL in the campaign, what are we really talking about here? So we've done this for conquesting, competitive conquesting. We imagine you could do this for people that are logging into Impact Radius or logging into Linkshare, right? If they're an affiliate manager. Now, the only problem is affiliates are also logging in there. So unless there's a specific URL specifically for advertisers, merchants, and managers, it might get a little muddy. So what I'm saying is you can do this based on keywords, based on URLs, right? You can really hone in on your audience if you really understand their intent on what they're looking for, searching for on Google, and build out these custom audiences.
Man, Sal, that's such a powerful message and something I didn't even realize existed on the internet. So I'm so glad you brought that up. Is there any spot, like, we can hire you as a business, right? But do you guys have any kind of like entry level course where I can do this myself, or any that you suggest out there for this?
Yeah, we're not a course creator per se. I mean, this information is available on YouTube. Like you can go look up on YouTube how to use custom intent audiences, and sure, plenty of. This is why, like, yeah, you're asking me. Like, I think we're going to start a podcast this year, so we can talk about these things, and people know more that we understand this stuff. Because I can tell you, time and time again, the clients that we talk to, other agencies that we talk to, people who are media buyers for years, they really don't understand the YouTube ecosystem and how powerful it is for advertising, whether that's for business and advertisers, whether that's for using affiliates. We didn't even talk about flanking allies yet. I think that's coming, but so there's so many things you can do with YouTube out there.
Awesome. And last thing I want to get to before I let you go, the concept of flanking allies. We talked about this before this show started, but can you explain this term and what it means to you guys?
Yeah, sure. So we have a couple of clients with very large ad budgets. They have affiliate programs. We work with the affiliate manager and the affiliate programs, and they're saying, hey, we have some YouTubers here who are doing a really good job at promoting the advertiser. And because we have big YouTube budgets, we carve out a portion of it to sprinkle what we call a little fairy dust over these flanking allies, right? And allow them to get more eyeballs on their videos, right? Because let's face it, YouTube organic, as good as a YouTuber is, sometimes a video will hit, sometimes it won't.
Yeah.
It just depends, right? And if they're doing affiliate content, affiliate reviews, something like this that's very brand specific, might not be the viral hit that you're looking for, right? But it still contains tons of valuable information. It's a great video in the perspective of an affiliate partner or influencer as opposed to the brand speaking about themselves, right? There's a lot of advantages to have somebody else talking about your brand than you talking about your brand directly, right? So in that regard, if a brand has the budget, partnering with affiliates and saying, hey, if you've created this piece of content, we'll put a little ad budget on it. Let's test it. Let's see if your video drives conversions. Does it drive engagement? Does it, does the video work? Is it appealing to our audience of people? Does it provide validity and credibility to our brands and our brand and products? I mean, it's the same thing. You're doing it with influencers and affiliates already, right? Why not amplify? Why not amplify it?
That's so smart. Yeah.
Right? You're going to sit there and go, well, the affiliate, they said they were going to do a great job, but the video only got like 100 views, 1,000 views. Like, I want to put 10,000 views, 20,000, 50,000 views on this, right?
If it's a good product, if it's a good review, you want to amplify that with some budget. So that's a brilliant approach as well for the affiliate. They could say, hey, this is my content package. It's $1,000 for me to create this YouTube review of you guys, but I want another $1,000 so I can invest in pumping it up.
That's right.
You guys. That's just brilliant. I like the way you're thinking there, and that could go well for any affiliate manager out there that has good YouTube videos with that small amount of views that can pump them up and help them out as creators. And that in turn creates a great amount of loyalty because you're helping build their audience and their income as well.
That's right.
Super smart. Love how we tied it all back into this. Appreciate you. Quickly, I want to talk about our sponsor of the day, and that is my inner circle. I have a $97 a month membership for any affiliate managers out there that want to improve their career and just be in a room with a bunch of affiliate managers that are talking about how to get better at their job, what's working for them today. We pass around contacts. You can also hit this QR code for the inner circle. Go to dustinhouse.com/inner to learn more. All right, last topic I want to hit up here, approaching YouTubers. In your opinion, like what's the best way for an affiliate manager that finds a good target? What should they be saying in their message to them?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are the, if you've been doing affiliate recruitment long enough, you know the message, you know what affiliates care about most.
Yeah.
In the YouTube space, though, I think it's a little bit different. They want to know that the products that they're going to be promoting are have visual appeal. Can they get excited about it? I feel like it's different than the other world because it's so transparent when somebody's enthusiastic about a product when they're talking about it, right? I mean, there's great actors out there. There's a lot of people that can act, right? But I think authenticity, really matters. So when you're approaching a YouTuber, really make sure it's authentic for your brand. Make sure they're the right spokesperson for your brand, right? Like it's easy to go after everybody when it's a numbers game and you're trying to hit quarterly goals and monthly goals and certain number of revenue, right? All that, like, it's like, we'll just cast the widest net possible. But I think having really tight relationships with your YouTubers and also making sure that, like, hey, if this one is successful, we want to do more of them with you as well. And I think getting into longer term agreements with people, if the YouTubers already prove like they've got a track record, a channel, have enough subscribers, right? You can tell, like, did they just get started yesterday or they know what the hell they're doing here? If that's the case, then you want to like incentivize them with like, hey, let's give this 3 months. How many videos can you do in 3 months? How many, what does this look like? Giving them exclusive affiliate commission, whatever that might be. And if you have this ability to put budget on their videos, I mean, what affiliate wouldn't say yes to that, right?
That's a great selling point. Yeah, that I've never even thought about. That's amazing.
Yep.
Awesome. Great tidbits there. Fantastic. Now it is that time to defend your post. And I went through your history and I found this. The other marketing geeks, also Scrubs fans out there. So glad they shared this. I am a huge Scrubs nerd. It is like my go-to show when I'm sick. I will just watch reruns of this, all the episodes. JD is one of my favorite characters off time. Who's your favorite character on that show?
I mean, JD is awesome too. They're all the characters, when you have ensemble casts. So my wife and I also watch a lot of Big Bang Theory. We're big Friends fans. When you have this ensemble cast, it's like, man, it's so hard. Like, they're all so good.
Yes.
Like, they're all so good, So, but yeah, I mean, JD was, it's his show. It's his thing.
I always say the janitor is one of the most classic characters I've ever seen.
Oh, I love that guy too. Yeah. Is his name just Janitor in the show? I forget.
They never say his name. It's just
right. It's just Janitor, right? Yeah. But it's so, like, the show is so creative and inventive. And that post that I shared, I don't know if you saw the underlying, like, what that was about. Like somebody used, they're making like T-Mobile commercials or something.
Yeah, they are.
So, but that was a behind the scenes like thing about how they did it. I mean, it's just their creative minds, right? Like, as a creative and somebody that wants to be more creative sometimes than I am, I look at these things and I'm like awe-inspired. I'm like, shit, how do they think of these ideas?
Yes. Brilliant show, well written and well executed. One of my all-time favorites. I'm glad we share that nerdship there. Lesson of the day. This one's super easy. This is custom intent audiences are something I've never tapped into, and I've got to go and do this immediately for all the brands that I'm working with. So love that lesson. Thanks for being here for us. How do we connect with you here, Sal?
Yeah, I'm all over LinkedIn. You can find me, Sal Conk, on LinkedIn. You can email me at sal@amazingads.com. Those are the two best ways to get in touch. Love to talk to anybody about YouTube, about their e-commerce business, their Amazon business, Shopify store, whatever it is. Love just nerding out about music and marketing and whatever anybody else wants to talk about. So
outstanding. Great stuff. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. My guests next week are going to be Joshua Kennedy and Jonathan Green. Stop by Tuesday and Thursday at 12:15 for that show. And without further ado, folks, have a good one, and appreciate your time, Sal. Thanks for being here with us.
thanks for having me, Dustin. Appreciate you.